high demand of gold, silver, and spices in Europe, and the passion to spread Christianity in Asia brought the Spaniards to the Visayan Islands in 1521. After Magellan was killed in Mactan, it took 44 years before the Spanish successfully set foot its first colony in Cebu in 1565. 6 years later, Legazpi moved to what is now Intramuros in Manila and make it the capital of the new colony called Islas Filipinas, or Philippine Islands in English language. When they conquered Manila, the Spanish discovered that the rulers of Manila were relative to the rulers of the Sultanate of Brunei, who were also relatives to the rulers of the Sultanate of Sulu, who had intermarriages and allied with the rulers of the Rahaships and Datuships along Iliana Bay and along the Pulangi River, but particularly in Malabang, Maguindanao, and Buayan. Other than blood relation, the rulers of the Sultanate of Brunei and Sulu, and the Rahaship of Malabang and Buayan, and the Datuships of Maguindanao were connected by a common religion, Islam, that came to Sulu in the late 14th century and to Mindanao in the early 16th century. The Spanish, owing to their long struggle against Muslim Moros, in Spain called the Islamized people of Brunei, Sulu, and Mindanao Moros with a deep-seated hate and bias against the Muslim Moors, who ruled Spain for more than 700 years. The Spanish were determined to subjugate, if not exterminate, the Muslim Moros in Brunei, Sulu, and Mindanao. In 1577, the Spanish attacked and forced the Sultan of Brunei and Sulu to flee from their capital towns. In 1578, the Spanish also attacked Maguindanao and Buayan. Thus, the Spanish-Moro War began that would last for 333 years until the Spanish left the Philippines in 1898. These Spanish colonizers have left a remnant in the northern part of the Mindanao, specifically in the municipality of Bacolod, province of Lanao del Norte. Bacolod is a coastal municipality in the province of Lanao del Norte. The municipality has a land area of 104.10 square kilometers or 40.19 square miles, which constitutes 3.11% of Lanao del Norte's total area. Its population, as determined by the 2015 census, was 23,034. This represented 3.41% of the total population of Lanao del Norte province, or 0.49% of the overall population of the northern Mindanao region. Based on these figures, the population density is computed at 221 inhabitants per square kilometer or 573 inhabitants per square mile. Bacolod comes from a Marana word that means rock. This may be because Bacolod is a rocky place. But the Bacolodians believe that the rock is the symbol of the Christian Messiah that helps them achieve their slogan of Padayon Pagsinlak Bacolod. The municipality of Bacolod is known to have won many awards, including the National Gawad Kalasag Awards, the National Awardee of Seal of Good Governance by the Department Interior and Local Government, Seal of Child-Friendly Local Governance, and Eco-Champion Award of the First Environment Summit until now. Bacolod, Lanao del Norte is a developing, eco-champion and agro-industrial municipality where God-loving, disciplined, vigilant, and empowered people are living in a safe, harmonious, and peaceful environment, enjoying quality life, ably guided by a dynamic local leadership. Bacolod, Lanao del Norte is a 1 hour and 30-minute drive from Iligan City. Going there, you can ride a bus as means of transportation. From the poblacion of the municipality, there is a Spanish relic located just 10 minutes away, which is the Fort Almonte in Layangan, a barangay of Bacolod.
Ang kana year na tawo
1932.
dayon sa pagkataon nimo naa na ang Fort Almonte.
Daan na.
Nganong gitukod mo na ang Fort Almonte?
Ang katukod ana katila.
Nganong gitukod mo na nila all?
Wala makatukod ang Japon ana hapon. Ang katila pa niya ito mga ihawak sa aning Pilipinas.
Unsa may rason nila nganong gitukod na nila?
Para gubat po to. Pero wala pa to pusil. May pusil para tuntang o pagkaw.
Unsa may mga nahitabo dira sa imong pagkahibalo?
Asa?
Unsa yung mga nahitabo dira mismo sa Fort Almonte?
Kung saan itapo.
Oh, unsa yung nahitabo? Naggubat ba dira? Nag-unsa man?
Anong mahitabo ana, wala mo kay balon. Hitabo gagamay pa man ko.
Sa mga storya-storya sa
Pero-
imong mga lola-lola, unsa
Pero
imong
kanin
nila?
hapon noon, naka-target sila diha. Kanin ko ano, karaan po nga eskwelahan.
Ang hapon ang
Ang hapon lagi magkaita diha.
ah,
Ang eskwelahan karaan po diha. Diha sila nag-start po.
Dayon, gingon nimo na mga Kastila pag dira sila nagpuyo.
At sila pa diha sila puyo. Pagka nag-anak man ng mga katawhan, wala na dyan mo yung kuan. Pusil na, dili yung kuan, suntang o bangkaw. Pusil naman mo na ang kasila, nawala na po sila kahit mo matay hawak sa unang kasila pa.
Pag naa sila yung badakpan na hapon, asa man nila imutan?
Takpan?
Sana sila yung badakpan.
Ilang ibita ilang kuno. Anong pagkatpat niya, yung dauban ang likod para mas masunog, mamatay.
The Spanish-Moro Wars, 1600s to 1850. The coastal villages along the northern shores of what is now Lanao del Norte were the settlements of the Maranaos, largely belonging to the Sultanate of Munay. A major area was around the mouth and the navigable region of Layangan River that could be a flourishing area for trade goods and captives, making it an object of Spanish control. The Spaniards first attacked Moros along the Rio Grande de Mindanao in 1578. The Spanish attempted to conquer Moros, and this prompted Iranians and Maranaos and planned a retaliatory attack on Christian settlements in the Visayas. The Moros did not attack the Spanish forces because of the knowledge about the Spaniards' weapons. Because of this, the first peace agreement between Moros and Spanish took place. 1636, Sultan Kurutan moved the capital of Sultanate of Mindanao from Simway to Sultan Kudarat, Maguindanao. This move was an attempt to bring the Maguindanaos, Maranao, and Iranun under one ruler. 1639, Captain Pedro Almonte, the governor of Zamboanga, ordered an expedition to defeat the Maranaos around Lake Lanao, primarily its main settlement in Marawi. The presence of Spanish-Filipino fleet in Zamboanga, the Iranuns of the Iliana Bay region crossed the Isthmus of Tukuran, joined forces with the Maranaos of Kapatagan, and Maranding assembled their war vessels at Panguil Bay. First half of the 1700s, the Iranuns and Maranaos controlled the whole Panguil Bay region, including its western side. Iranun and Maranaos communities were flourishing along the mouth of the rivers of coastal region Lanao del Norte. 1753, 2,000 Maranaos besieged Fort Francisco Javier for 2 months. Under the leadership of a priest, the fort survived for 2 months, which was the Christian population in Iligan. After those months, food and morale were very low. When the Spanish command in Cebu learned of the situation in Iligan, it sent reinforcements. When they arrived, the Moros were already gone. The constant danger appealed to Manila, asking Iligan to be strengthened by being accessible by land and water. Taking the matter seriously, the governor sent 2 expeditions in Mindanao, Zamboanga and Iligan. The commander commenced counter-offensive. First objective was the Linamon River, where 35 boats were captured, but the Moros hastily escaped. Next was Magoong. 20 boats with no Moro were captured. Next target, Layangan River and Langaran rivers, but only fishing boats were captured. The Spanish forces blocked the entrance of Layangan River, suspecting an ambush by Moros. With Linamon, Magoong, and Layangan sealed off, Father Ducos from Iligan proceeded to Misamis, where the San Felipe anchored operations at Magoong. After inspecting, Father Ducos reported that they only saw fishing boats in the entire Panguil Bay. The presence of Iligan fleet and surprise attack in Linamon and Magoong must have surprised the Moros, putting them on high alert, making them evacuate and hide their war vessels in mangrove forest. The Moro war vessels were much small and can easily navigate in river channels in the thick mangrove forest. The Iligan was brought attention to Governor Arandia and ordered the attack of major Moro villagers. Lupagan was progressive, indicating that it was one of the leading villages in the Sultanate of Munay. 1757. A governor-general arrived and was concerned of strengthening the defenses in Tandag after successfully raided by Moros. The Iligan fleet was transferred to Tandag and small forces remained at the unfinished fort in Misamis. The Moros could not effectively launch raiding fleets from Pangil. Thus, the Layangan River and its environs again became the launching base of the Maranao raiding parties.
Fort Almonte. Dili, ang about sa Fort Almonte, sa akong naibalaan, kana siya is Fort of Conquest. Kung tanaw na to sa history, kanang conquest, murag wala kayo sa significance ba. Pero naa siya correlation sa kanang kuta sa Osamis. Ang isa sa nabalaan ako na kuta Tumanong, Fort Almonte o kanang kuta sa Binuni. So bali ang tanan nga significance nga nahimo na siya. Night time ni abot man daw sa diri sa within sa Mindanao during sa Iligan nga ay priest pa. Anak nga time nga kuan kanang siya ang nagdala ng ilahang patron nga kanang San Miguel. Diba ato nga time before siya nahimong priest, isa siya ka soldier. So bali ang kanang nga priest, ang kanang area diri sa una, gi-attack na siya og mga Maranaos. Ako naibalaan na nga. Dayon ang Maranaos nag-attack sa ang ilaha sa una is kana manggong camp. Dili mo ginaingong same nga camp karon as structure. So bali ang ilahang camp sa una is settlement para og kanang resting area ba nga mapahulay sila. Nga mo na ilang murag kampo. Diha sila magtigom. Pero ang naay mga areas diri nga gitawag na to og nindot kanang ginatawag og kuta Tumanong kay camp o resistance. Pero kanang Fort Almonte based sa history sa kunay balaan lang kana siya Fort of Conquest. Na-conquer siya, no? Wala gid siya ka-resist sa sa kaaway. So during Spanish time kauban sa mga uban nga mga lumads nga ilan nang gitukod aron nga maprotektahan ang uban nga areas diri sa Lana del Norte against sa attack sa mga Maranaos mo na siya. Dayon napoy natukod ana nga part at bang dito sa Kuta, Port of Kuta sa Sangis. Kaya ang gihimo diha kay anong gaatbang siya kay muagi ang vessel sa mga kaaway. So mas poprotektahan nila kay gateway man siya. Napagilain na kanang diha sa Binuni, Punta Binuni. So mao na siya mga anang history sa kanang balaan nga gi-preserve na siya, gibuhatan siya og mga kan ba og historical nga preservation nga aron makita pod nga bisan og dili kayo siya nindot paminawon unsay meaning pero gi-preserve siya tungod kay talagsaon ra ka makakita sa uban nga areas nga daghan og mga camps na ay camps of conquest o camps of resistance. Mo na karon na kanang Fort Almonte murag sikat siya kay kuan man siya kanang visible siya dayon naapod siya na nabutang diri sa munisipyo sa Bacolod. So ora og bisan ang meaning niya is dili kayo nindot pero tungod kay nabutang siya sa lungsod sa Bacolod among gihimo na lang na ma-preserve siya mapakita sa katawhan nga ay mga nag-exist diri nga mga camps nga ning prevail gid ko dunta nga mo makig-away during atong time sa mga Spaniards. Dayon based sa history urag ako nahibalaan na siguro na siya sa mga 1753 ana 54, 55 mga naana siya diha nga time nag-exist siya. Pero atong time sa kung naibalaan kuan naamang research ana gi-interpret ang book nga nasulat ning mga inaani nga klase nga history katong dito sa Xavier na ay murag professor sa diha nga siya mo'y nakakuha sa gisulat atong mga nag-document sa una then ilahang gi-translate into English nga masabtan siya unsay nahitabo during atong time nga nagatukod ning mga lugar nga na-establish. So, panarap.
With the withdrawal of Spanish Filipino forces, most of those who remained in the forts in northern Mindanao were volunteers from the Visayas. The reduction of Spanish Filipino forces allowed the Marinos to reconsolidate their forces, so that by 1894 they were attacking villages in northern Mindanao, like that of Pigtao, El Salvador, and Manticao. By this time, Governor General Despujol was replaced by Governor General Ramon Blanco, a general who was serving Governor General Terrero during the campaign against the Maguindanao and Sulu in late 1887 to 1888. Like Wheeler, Governor General Blanco was determined in the full colonization of Mindanao, where he planned to resettle most of those captured in Luzon to defuse the growing resistance, especially around Manila. Blanco organized a bigger invasion force in early 1894 and started another campaign in 1895 with almost the same plan with that of the Wheeler campaign 4 years earlier. Again, Fort Almonte served as a base of the Spanish-Filipino forces that by then spread up to what is now Culambugan. When the tension between the United States and Japan started to build up in the late 1930s, General Douglas MacArthur ordered the conscription and induction of Filipino males into the United States Armed Forces of the Far East, or USAFFE. Many of the young men from Layangan and Bacolod enlisted with the contingent of the Philippine Constabulary stationed in Layangan. The conscript were initially oriented, trained in Layangan Parade Ground, and eventually sent to Camp Overton in Iligan for further military training. Thus, a number of young men became soldiers of the USAFFE. Some of them participated and survived to the Bataan Death March. When the war broke out in 1941, the American and the Constabulary used Fort Almonte as base. But when General Wright ordered the American forces to surrender in May 1942, the American and Filipino troops surrendered, but some went to the mountains and organized guerrilla units. Fort Almonte was then used by the guerrillas for training. When the Japanese knew of the activities of the guerrillas in Fort Almonte, they raided the fort, forcing the guerrillas to withdraw to the interior. The Japanese encamped in Fort Almonte from late 1942 until the Japanese withdrawal in 1945. After the Japanese withdrawal and when the people started to return to their normal lives, the school was reopened and converted into an elementary school after the war. After the Second World War, believing the treasures of Japanese encamped in Fort Almonte people started digging for rumored treasures. The digging activities loosened the ground under the walls. When a strong earthquake struck Lanao in April 1, 1955, some of the walls of the fort sunk and started to tilt. The condition of the walls was worsened by the continuous treasure diggings. In the late 1960s, Fort Almonte started to become part of the school complex, and an opening was curved in the eastern side of the wall, allowing easy entrance. Being part of the school grounds, the fort became also the part of the children's playground. When improvements of the school were made, some of the rocks and stones of the fort were used as materials for fence. The daily presence of students playing on the parapets and inside the fort contributed to the rapid deterioration of the fort, whose history was almost forgotten. Attempts to conserve the fort were initiated by some concerned people from Layangan, but they were not able to get support. Hence, Fort Almonte continued to deteriorate and its history and relevance almost fade away from the collective memory of the people.